How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about what will Bitcoin do under a Harris administration versus a Trump administration. Now, I'll tell you, things right now, it's October 14th, are getting very divisive in this country. I know people putting out Trump signs and they're getting stolen within an hour. I know people that are literally protesting, as the weeks go on, and it's just crazy how divided. I know family members that I try to talk to, they won't even listen to me. I know people that are very closed off that have sent long texts to me. It's just we're not seeing each other as neighbors, as people. We're seeing each other as political, and that's not the way we should go about things. We should seek to understand and we should try to inform, but at the end, you can sling all you want at the other side. Both sides can throw dirt. And I think it's good right now to become united and try to see each other's point of view. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin and Harris and Trump. So it is known that the Harris administration has relentlessly been going after Bitcoin and crypto with Operation Chokepoint 1.0 and 2.0. And by doing this, what I mean by Operation Chokepoint, this was back about a little over a year ago, where they actually, and there was one situation 2 years ago, where they actually pretty much let Signature Bank go under, which handled a lot of the crypto businesses. Silicon Valley Bank went under. A lot of these banking partners to the crypto industry, they pretty much sacrificed. It was the sacrificial lamb. And essentially they were going after this industry because the current administration, like Elizabeth Warren, Biden, and the Democratic regime, they really don't like Bitcoin because it's a threat to the controlling banking industry. Now, Trump, he has taken a more favorable approach to Bitcoin. As we know, he's launching his own crap coin, but essentially he's been at the Bitcoin conference. He spoke. I saw him. I was not that far from him, and I also saw him, going to different rallies, going to different events, and talking about it. He's hosted spaces about Bitcoin and crypto, and it seems like he's surrounding himself with like the Winklevoss twins and players in the industry. And I think generally, net, he is more favorable for Bitcoin. And I'm not saying he's perfect. Kamala, she is going to be 4 more years of Biden, but worse from my view and from many other people's view in the space. So what will happen under a Harris regime versus a Trump regime with Bitcoin? So for Harris, a lot of people that are working on Bitcoin, so Bitcoin Lightning, Bitcoin wallets, Bitcoin, just like the layer 2s and the businesses operating in the space, a lot of people will face heightened scrutiny, and they're actually going to probably have to close up shop if she gets elected here in the United States, because she's just going to throw the legal book, she's going to throw the regulators after them, and she's really going to come down hard. I genuinely think that. I think if you don't believe that, I think you're misinformed, especially because of the track record. We have an actual track record to point back to on what she'll do, and she herself is a puppet. She doesn't know what she's talking about, but her handlers will force it through her. And it will really not be good for those that are in the crypto or Bitcoin industry, especially. So the next thing is unrealized taxes as well as capital gains will be further implemented. I think there will be heightened tracking. The IRS will go after people even harder. I think there will be more IRS agents. I think capital gains taxes will go up. I think there will be a lot more pressure against this industry from a taxing perspective because they are running bigger and bigger deficits. They need to come up with capital somehow. The best way they can do that is taxing those who hold assets, and Bitcoin is an asset that they're going to try to go after. I think also what we're going to see is a CBDC implemented or start to be implemented under her administration if she is elected. Now, I think the CBDC, it'll be targeted for a rollout. I think it's not going to get rolled out all at once. I think it'll come if a crisis happens. Hey, you want to receive your stimmy checks? Download this wallet, download this app, and we will give you some CBDC Fed coin. And people will do it. People will sign up for it because at the end of the day, people want free value, free money, and they're going to do it, and they're going to fall for the lobster trap. Now, I think that will be one of the first steps, but I think a lot of money printing will happen in the Harris regime. And I think the price of Bitcoin will rise up to 250K, 300K, 400K even, because we're going to see money printing like you've never seen it before, guys. Because she's a socialist. Her dad's a socialist. She has a lot of socialist policies. She has a lot of socialist undertones. And I think we're going to see so much money printing that the dollar will get sacrificed because of this. The dollar will get sacrificed, and money printing will be higher than you've ever seen before. And I think the debt will be higher, and I think people will become worse off overall. But I think a lot of people that hold Bitcoin or work in the Bitcoin space will be attacked through multiple fronts. Now, the only upside I can see with Harris being president is the money printing that will occur will cause the price of Bitcoin to go up. But at the same time, she'll increase the taxes. So I think it's important to have an avenue to get your Plan B passport to be able to escape the U.S. if things really hit the fan. Because at the end of the day, she will do everything she can to bring people down that hold assets, that hold wealth. As we saw, there's going to be an unrealized gain tax under her administration. That's going to cause so much capital flight, you won't even believe it. Now, for Trump, I think many altcoins are going to start pumping. It's known that he's an altcoiner. He loves his NFTs. He loves his World Liberty Financial. And I think he's going to actually appoint a new head of the SEC. I think he's going to clear a lot of house, to be honest. And I think we're going to see a new bull run occur. I really believe that we're going to see another big bull run with both Bitcoin and alts. But I think we're going to see people making millions again. I think interest rates will get lower. And I think he's going to be friendly to both Bitcoin and crypto. And I don't like that about him, that, you know, he keeps shilling the World Liberty. I don't like how he keeps shilling NFTs. I think it's a distraction. I think it is a short-term money grab where, you know, him and his family are benefiting from that crypto coin. But, I mean, you can't have the perfect candidate. I mean, you can't. I mean, yes, it would be great if Kennedy was elected, but that's not the case. Like, it's Trump and Harris, and Trump is the slightly better option. Now, he will continue launching these coins and these NFTs, and that's going to enrich his family. But at the end of the day, we need to see the forest through the trees. He's going to be better for this industry over the next 4 years. He's going to create more of a free market. Lie is fair. In a free market, you allow the penny stocks to trade. In a free market, you allow things to be traded. You try to cut down regulations, and you try to cause more freedom to transact. And I think, yes, it's not ideal, but I do think to have him, you know, doing all this altcoining. But hey, as a libertarian, I don't care what you do with your money. And, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of signaling for him to hold the Bitcoin, but also maybe increase the buying of Bitcoin. And I think there may even be a strategic buying fund. He didn't announce that. I don't think he signaled it before, but I do think there's a lot of people in his corner that will try to get him to do that. And I think then we're going to see countries around the world really try to adopt Bitcoin before we start to see the run up to 100, 200, 300K. I do know with Trump, we have to be genuine here. From 2016 to 2020, there was a lot of money printing. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that money printing. I think we're going to see the price go up. I think the money printing would be much higher under a Harris administration. But the money printing under a Trump administration will still be very high. The deficits are going to explode either way. Maybe with Harris, it'll be another $500 billion to $1 trillion a year than Trump, but both of them are going to be causing huge deficits, huge spending, and it's going to cause the dollar to go down, our deficits to increase, and the price of Bitcoin to go up. So this is why we need to get out and vote, because we need to make sure that at a minimum, we try to save our country. We don't want violence. We want law and order. We want to make sure that we can bring people into this country legally. We want to make sure that taxes are low so we can start businesses. There's a lot of things we need to do. But in the end, there's red, there's blue, there's the state, and there's you. And we also need to make sure to stay self-sovereign, because whether you vote for Trump or Kamala, at the end of the day, what really matters is that your financial house is in order. You're able to buy Bitcoin. You're able to have assets that can go against the monetary debasement we're going to see, because sometimes I almost feel like the elites are laughing at everyone. They're laughing at the 99%, like they already know the end game. And we're all fighting with each other, and we're getting frustrated, our mood's swinging, and they're just getting rich, and they're just laughing at it, and it's just like seeing, a rooster fight, a cage fight, chicken fight. And they like it. It's almost entertainment for them. So I think it's important that we become self-sovereign. It's important that we speak up, and it is critical that we speak up for the Orange Party, because at the end of the day, it is the most based in its principles. And right now, I think that Orange Party is Trump. Trump has Kennedy backing. Trump has announced he's going to keep the Bitcoin in the strategic reserve, and he's going to also make sure to help support people that are trying to grow their businesses and be fair with taxes at the corporate level, but also to be friendly towards this industry as a whole. So I think in the end, he's a much better candidate, and please be sure to get out and vote. Please be sure to try to convince others to vote. It's going to be a close election, especially here in the swing states. It's going to be a razor-thin margin. So anyways, guys, I hope you liked it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.